Hey, it's JC1424 once again with another album review, and today we're going to be talking about the 2020 album from a local alt-metal artist that me and my girlfriend met whenever they opened up for Powerman 5000 in 2019. It was June 28th or June 29th, something like that. But I did buy a CD of theirs, and so did she. It was Afraid of What's to Come. It was the last album they released back in like 2015, 14, something like that, but it's like 5 or 6 years old by now. So this is their first time releasing an album in a long time, and they did have a single that was on there. It's like the first song on this album, and I think there was maybe like one other song that had been out prior, but it was just kind of lingering around. But the first one on here is Battleground, and it's actually a suspenseful 2-minute like nu metal style intro. Kind of reminds me of Evanescence because of the piano, violin, bass beats, and the drums that all are rising out of this dark cassette-like distortion. Then we get into track 2, the first actual song on the album, Come Back Stronger, which came out almost 3 years ago by now. And it's an actual continuance of the intro's build-up, both in volume and melody. The vocals make a good first impression, while the guitar work stands out brilliantly, which is something that I can't usually say about alt-metal artists. Like, even in Breaking Benjamin, there's only a few cases where the guitar work is just actually that eccentric, and you'll see that a lot on this album. And even the drums go wild. But I will say the bridge isn't sturdy. It's got some messy screams in there. The second song on this album is track 3, which is How Much Will It Take? It's the soft and tame song of the album, but a solid production. Everything comes out crystal clear with smooth harmonization. You've got some excellent synth beats, neat acoustic input, and singer Forrest Wilkinson has one fine falsetto. And I did want to add this, but I didn't write it in my notes earlier this morning, was that it reminds me a lot of Burning in the Skies, which was like the first song on Linkin Park's album 1,000 Suns, and that was back whenever they were having a lot more dynamic and emotional concepts to what they were making.
Took a ride to clear my head, erase the words I said. Used to think I was Superman, used to think we had a plan. Now all our dreams are gone. Tell me, where did we go wrong? You hesitated, this pain is self-created.
Track number 4 is Unstoppable. I don't really care for this song's sloppy percussion and funky use of the tempo that you hear when in between the verses with the guitar. But the bridge, through and through, all the way to the end, is a beautiful transformation and emotional release. You got the best guitar solo on the album, I guarantee it. It's not overdone, just perfectly elegant. Meanwhile, Skip Brown is on the drums. He's doing great. He's doing awesome. But it's a bit too much. Track 5 is Only You Decide, 4th song on the album. Sound-wise, this track is crisp, and I admire that slight open space that lies underneath the verses. It really helps you hear everything better as it progresses to the chorus, which is made strong with how the drums just roll and kick in there. And then out of nowhere, everything just becomes deadly aggressive in going into the bridge. And that's some good shit, I can tell you that much. It really stands out. But on the downside, I'm going to go full Chef Gordon Ramsay here. The lead guitar on this song stinks. It sounds dry and broken. Like there's no, sugar coating it. It sounds like the strings are almost 5 years old. They never been played, and the guitar hardly, just tuned a little bit. And on every other song, the guitar playing is awesome. The tuning is awesome. The recording is quite flawless. In this case, he's playing it very good. He's good at playing guitar, but the guitar don't sound that good. And also the lyrics are, I can't help but say, extremely cliche.
It's time to live, it's time to grow, it's time to let go of all you know. It's time to make the best out of our lives. Take a step, make a change. Life will never be the same, and we both
sixth track on this album is What You've Become, and it's the most dirty metal song on the album, I'll tell you that much. The vocal efforts are both melodic and psychotic. The drummer has a way of being more adventurous with his fills and even the simple rhythms than most bands are. This guitar riff isn't exactly refreshing, but on its own, it is definitely completing the song. Track 7 is Pistol Parade, Far From Over. This one actually came out a significant period of time before the rest of the album, maybe a year after Come Back Stronger, maybe before I had seen them live in summer of 2019. And while I was never particularly attached to it, it's a tad experimental as far as what is in the soundscape on this song. The riffs are starting to feel old, like this one's a lot like the last song and then maybe a few others on the album, but the lead guitar resonates so beautifully in the chorus, and even more so whenever you get to the bridge. Then the ending to this song is so good and strong that I kind of figured that it was the end of the album, but we still have one after this. The intro track, of course, it's an 8-track album, but it's got 7 songs, and the final song on here is Farewell to Yesterday. My favorite song on the album, hands down. I was listening to this one a bunch last year, at least until Rogue came out, which we'll talk about in a bit, but yeah, that came out after the album. The guitar tone has a badass punk rock edge, and the drum fills are just killing it. Like always. The electronics are so delectable and almost nostalgic given what Linkin Park used to do with theirs. Forrest Wilkinson has this really special vocal delivery for this song that's different from others on the album, in my opinion. A little spoken section. Then, of course, he has his growl, scream stuff, which it's all coming together a little bit better than it did in other songs. I'm a lot more attracted to it in this case. And my final score for First Fracture's 2020 album, Battleground, is an 87%. Which is almost an 88%, but in the end it's just a B, not a B minus or a B plus. And it doesn't really matter what I call it in the end. I mean, I really like listening to this album. I've probably heard it like 5 times since it came out. A lot whenever it first came out, and then a couple times whenever I was just writing down the notes and shit. There's definitely some stuff I would like for them to improve on as far as like sound quality. The drum recordings, while the guy on the drums is awesome, it kind of sounds like they're being recorded in some kind of warehouse, and there's like a reverb that doesn't fit very well with the organic style of the guitars and all the electronics, which are always crisp whenever they put that in there. I think there was like maybe one stance where the bass kind of stood out and it was fun to hear it, and that was Pistol Parade, but I didn't really mention it that much. I would like if they tried to focus on having that bass stick out a little bit more, you know, like Rise Against, Green Day, whenever they do their shit. I will applaud Forrest Wilkinson. Your fucking falsetto kicks ass. And the guy from Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong, he tried to use his on his latest album, very first song, and it was asinine. So this is how you do the falsetto. Billy Joe, you should get more practice or just stop trying to do it. Oh my god. Aside from that, I don't think there's really anything else. And I did say I wanted to talk about Rogue. It was a song that came out after the hurricane season in 2020, and obviously they're a local band in Louisiana, so they had to deal with some of the same struggles that we did. Not to mention COVID-19 was also making it difficult. They have this very prevailing adversity kind of theme to a lot of their music. I would say it's kind of like Christian rock, but they do it very well. So it's not bad Christian rock. If you like alt metal at all, definitely give this a listen to, because I mean, I've met these guys. Guitarist, drummer, awesome guys. Forrest Wilkinson, I don't think he has the best voice for singing, but what he does with it is awesome. Kind of like the guy from 311. His voice is like, but he does heavenly wonders with it. And thanks for watching and listening to me talk about this album from First Fracture. See you next time. That's that, and album review over.